All right, my boys, we're back at it, punching up. This time we've got another guest with us, who's not a guest. He's our fellow brother who is also punching up. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Hopefully I can be on the episodes from now on.
Yeah, I think that we can make that work. Um, but gentlemen, I wanna hear how has the past how has it been living in this state of the world that we're in, and how has your commitment been to punching up?
Everything is just like a lot. So much is going on. Like every day there's some crazy new news article that comes out, and it's just like the soul crushing thing. But we're at the point where like it happens so often. We get this every single day. I almost feel desensitized to it.
Mm.
And like that's not a feeling that I think we should really have, especially with the scope and scale of the things that are going on around the world.
For real.
Yeah, it's just like we're just constantly shocked. Where even when we get shocked again, we're just like, "Damn, all right, I guess that's just what happens. I guess it's just out of our control."
Yeah, it all feels so out of control, and they're just so, yeah, like you said, so much at the same time. And I think like not only is there like, I don't know, there's so many existential threats all at once, and like I think more than any other generation, we're like aware of them. We understand what climate change means. We understand like maybe we don't understand yet what like AI is going to mean for us. But, like there's some like massive things going on, but coupled with that is like how we're taking in all of the news is just like possibly like the worst. Like we're just scroll after scroll after scroll of like seeing new fucked up shit, and we're just like, it's absurd. Um, it's a weird moment we're living in.
Yeah, I feel like with the scrolling stuff too, it's like you'll go on Instagram or something, and then you'll just see like, to be honest, you don't even see an official account. Like I never see like CNN posting some of this stuff. I just see like um some weird accounts. You got like on Twitter, you've got like Pop Crave and all that stuff where you're hearing these major news announcements that you aren't hearing from these like these huge media corporations.
Wait, what's the
And
last
then you
one?
just
Pop
scroll
Crave.
down and it's a funky video. Yeah, Pop Crave. Pop Crave
What's
is
Pop
that's
Crave?
like Pop Crave. It's like a it's kind of funny to explain Pop
Is it
Crave.
like food?
Let's think about the best. It's just like pop culture news,
Okay, that
but
makes sense.
like so they'll release a lot of stuff about like new music coming out, new like artists and all this, but then also like they post about like the flotilla that was going over, and not that they posted about it. They were one of like the first and the only like major media outlets, if you can call a Twitter account a major media outlet, like actually posting about stuff like this.
Damn, really?
And it's just like I feel like it just shows like the failure of like modern media, and like how it is complicit in the role it is playing in like informing people.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Like they're guilty of just lying by omitting key facts, kind of uphold narratives that benefit them.
yeah, and I think
Yeah,
I think a lot of it is like, you know, intentional to like you said, of like maintaining their own grip of power in like, they're owned by billionaires. They are these massive corporations that are benefiting from the current craziness. But like also just because of like how we take in news, both like, how the news cycle is made, where that's like a new thing every day, and you gotta like, you're trying to get people to be, ratings, and you're trying to get people to watch, and then even that on steroids with social media, that like it's just like you're trying to get people to click on it. um there's so little of like an overarching what the fuck is happening. Like there's no like because it's always something new. It's never like, okay, but these large things are like all going on, and like especially right now, like as our country descends into fascism, like full blown fascism, like there might be like new news every here and there that the average person is like, oh shit, this is happening, but there's not like an overarching like that doesn't stay up for more than like the 30 seconds that they read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the next thing just takes its place like instantaneously.
Yeah, it's just like instant gratification of like phones has like leaked itself into like modern news where this stuff is supposed to like you're supposed to learn from this stuff, know about what's going on, and just feel it kind of. Um, and it's just like, yeah, you just don't feel that anymore. It's just like, yeah, exactly what you said. It's just like, oh, this is good for today. What else happened? What happened today that I can post about tomorrow?
Right. And like because that's how like you're saying like most people our age don't read the news. They get their news from a social media account that they follow or just see on their like for you page, right?
Yeah.
Which like I just think not just the nature of social media being like so fast, click, 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 scroll, scroll, like that's bad. But I think just like us having the thing that we go on to see what our friends are up to, the thing that we go on, which was initially what social media was, the thing that we go on to to relax or like find things funny, which is like what most people are using it for, but also figure out what's going on at the moment. Like that being the same place is not good. That's not good. Um, and I feel like yeah, just how we're even taking the news. I think that's kind of hindering our generation in a lot of ways.
Wait, how so?
Yeah,
Do you
just
feel like it's keeping people less informed, or maybe just like less aware of how impactful some of the stuff that they see is because it's on these media sites?
I think like no one like our parents or like other people are like looking at the news and like I think the news to begin with, is imperfect. But I think
Hmm.
us taking in things from like social media and like yeah, we're pretty politically aware and we're pretty like motivated to do something about the state of the world. But I was having a conversation with someone the other day about like trying to push people into activism um, from social media and that being kind of a dead end in some ways because
Mm.
like people are going on these apps to relax or to see what their friends are up to. They're not going on there to find out what's going on and be like, "Oh wow, this crazy thing's going on." Like, yeah, some people are using that, but like Jordan was saying, so many people are just so desensitized to all the things that they're seeing time
Yeah,
and time after again that it's just so easy to inconvenient to scroll to the next thing rather
that's
than
true.
really learn what is going on and what can I do about it.
Yeah, it doesn't really stick
No.
or hold with people that when they see it.
regular like an online article, like you see the headline, and it's like most people are just reading the headlines as well. It's like I know these people aren't even reading like these short form captions, like even that it is just like yeah, I guess my thing is like who reads the captions on some of these images? Because if they aren't reading the captions on some of these images, they're most certainly not going to like this news website, picking the article headline and then reading the full article.
Yeah,
Yeah, nobody
definitely.
reading.
Nobody.
Whereas like I also feel like I'm speaking from like my experience where like yes, I will read a lot of the captions on Instagram posts, especially news related. But I am trying to think of like the regular normal user that isn't me. So it's like yes, this is kind of like in my mind what people think. But like I also don't think I'm very far off from the truth of like saying, yeah, a lot of people don't read these captions. They're just scrolling from post to post.
No, definitely. Um, I'm wondering, like, I feel like getting off of social media is like the end goal, and like having some alternatives that people. I think Substack is honestly net positive, but it's only the most interested people that are reading Substack. Um, but like, I think like blogs in general, like, are a solid thing. I'm just like, or yeah, just local news. Like, I feel like if people like on campus like started on like college campuses started reading like their school newspaper and stuff like things that like I don't know. I think there are ways out of it, but I think it starts with just like separating out how we're taking in information and everybody being like it being like a norm that people are disciplined on taking in what's going on. which I just don't think. I think we're far from that right now.
Yeah. Um, I also maybe I'll be taking this in a different direction.
Do it.
Um, in between all of these like videos that come up on your phone and these news articles you see, I feel like so much more of it is fake. It is like quite literally AI generated and made and posted. And one thing I think is getting scary, and I definitely struggle with people's opinions on this, is like these AI videos. Like I mean, our notes we have the Vibes app, which I guess I'm not too familiar with.
I'm not either. I
Um,
just know it's Zuckerberg's.
yeah, and Sora, which like I feel like I've heard a lot more recently. And like to be honest, I feel like I've heard about these recently, but like lately, even I've been seeing videos online that are just like it's AI, and you don't even know. You like go into the comments, and then some people are like talking about how it's AI. And it's like, wow, I didn't even know. And like to me, that is just like I feel like this like impending doom kind of because like these people are like, yo, this video is so funny, dude. Look at this. I'm like, wow, this is so close to reality. This is going to be used for like the wrong reasons in so many different scenarios.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. And like not only is it, I don't know, something that I feel like I'm trying to get at with like how poop it is that we're just like trapped on these phones with like and yes, news might come up on there, but like people will spend like 2 hours a day or more on Instagram or TikTok, whatever. And they're like really the initial purpose for these apps was to like figure out what your friends are up to and keep in touch, right? And like you don't need these apps for more than like 30 minutes a week to figure that out. But they're this like attempt to capture our attention all the time is like filling up with like these great algorithms that like have funny content or content that you want to see, whether it's baking or whatever it is, that like they're putting real people out there. But like think about that to the max when they're just, it's not even real people that you're watching anymore. It's just these like AI slop videos that like, you know, hopefully a lot of people are like, I'm not gonna watch this. But there's probably a lot of people that are just gonna continue watching all these like AI slop videos, and it's just like, damn, it's just becoming dead internet where we're just like continuing to take in absolute nonsense, rather than doing anything like literally living our lives or taking in what's actually going on in the world. It's like honestly one of the biggest barriers for us to get out of this mess, I think.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest dangers lies in the fact that us and people our age who grow up on the internet and use it the most can understand these videos are fake and artificially generated. But for older generations and I just guess for more like naive populations, this stuff is so hyper realistic that it's going to trick a lot of people. And once like that becomes normalized, it kind of just compounds the um, post truth society that we live in, where things that we see aren't real, but it's not going to matter because it's going to fool so many people.
Right.
And we have that already with spoken words. I mean, this administration, a lot of people in general can just say whatever, say things that are not the truth. And once they keep saying it, it just becomes the truth. And so it's whatever. But now, when you, for a population or a country and a world that's just always online, seeing stuff that isn't real, it's like, that's it. That's it for the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like what like yeah, this is people are seeing this in like the lens of like, oh, like funny video on my phone. But it's like it is really just something like when does this start getting used with the government? When is the government going to start using AI? And it's like the secret that I don't think a lot of people know is they already are and they already do. Um, I have zero clue why, like, Grok, the like Elon Musk's like stupid Twitter AI. Um, why is that involved in the government? Um, like
Wait, what does
I
Grok do
genuinely
with
It
government?
just
Grok is
types
just I
it
think
just
it's just
types
like
white
their
nationalist bullshit all the time. It's so crazy.
and it's just like so openly like online like Elon tweets about it. He's like, it's gone woke. And it's like it just actually started like saying statistical like facts. And it's like
Dude, the woke
they
truth.
can just they could just um they could just like kind of change the code a little bit
Hmm.
and like suppress some information or not say certain things. It's like it's just like so crazy and scary, like on a social level. But like what happens when like yeah, this is like more heavily used on in the government. Again, it already is being used. Look at like the White House, like Twitter. Almost every single image they make is AI. And not to mention like super, super like Nazi-esque. It's also like AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just like racist shit too.
Yeah,
That like
like
Trump himself is
actually
posting.
the most racist stuff.
Yeah. And
Like,
like
yeah, like he posted a picture of him, an AI picture of him like bombing Chicago. Like
really?
right? A president does not do that. Just want to make that clear.
No, it's crazy. Yeah, let's get into that. I mean, the last thing I'll say on AI is like, yeah, there's so many. The videos are gonna be bad, but even think like Grok is a great example of like people are using AI. I forget where I saw it, but like it was a breakdown of how different age groups use AI, and a lot of people use it just straight up as a search engine, like using
No,
ChatGPT to
yeah.
like understand like answers on things, this and that. And it's like, all right, it's one thing for your math, your algebra homework, but like when you're trying to figure out how the world works and it's through AI and like who's controlling what data, like what articles is coming through that, a lot of times it's just piping random shit because it like its goal is to give you an answer and like always satisfy your prompt.
Yeah,
That like if more of them are like Grok, which like are designed to be pumping conservative Nazi shit, like that's bad. That's really bad for like just like what we all think we're taking in, and like yeah, it's not good. Um, but yeah, let's go into Trump's war on America. How the National Guard and ICE is just being used on our own fellow Americans, which is just like I don't know, it's brain melting.
yeah. I think the worst example of it was in Chicago when they raided a residential building
Yeah,
under the pretext of there was this Venezuelan gang. I don't exactly remember the name, but even worse than it happening, and even worse than the Department of Homeland Security pumping out hype edits of them busting down doors and just
That was disgusting
yeah,
too. That
and
is like so disgusting.
and
Sorry, Dom. Keep
yeah,
going.
and then just tying zip tying people up who are even like 4 or 5 years old. Is that you have people defending it? Like this is normalized now, um, because getting these dangerous migrants out is so important and the number one issue and the reason why America's failing. It's okay to just violate constitutional rights. It's okay to bash down doors, and now that's not even a defensible position. It's just accepted. I think that's the craziest element of it all with ICE is how constitutional protections are just not even slowly, just rapidly getting thrown out. These laws that we believe that we have in America, these protections no longer existing, really in the span of like 8 months, is a very crazy escalation that I feel like a lot of people thought could happen, but it's pretty wild how quickly it has happened and pretty wild how much defense there is for it.
yeah,
Yes, this has happened so quick. Like Trump has been president for like he hasn't even been president for a year, which is also really scary to me because that means we're not even 1 year into 4 years of like we genuinely have no idea what all of this could lead to.
Yeah. No, future's not looking good. Um, but I feel like I do have a good idea of what it's going to look like if we continue down this path. Unfortunately, not a good idea. Like I know exactly what's going to happen, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be more of this. We're gonna lose our all, like not just some of our rights, but like all of our rights, even citizens. Um, and it's gonna, you know, fall into like an actual dictatorship, um, which is not good. But I think there's still things that like I don't think that's inevitable either. Um, I mean, like the response, like what's amazed me in Chicago and has been really inspiring. It's like there's been some really great community response to the ICE raids. Like people have gotten smarter and smarter at how they're defending their communities, which has been pretty cool to see. Um, and I think like yeah, we're gonna be losing the messaging partly because like the media ecosystem is just so fractured, and the only two like remaining ones are like pretty far right, and then CNN is middle right, and it's like yeah, but there have been a couple cases recently that have reminded me of like, hey, collective pressure, maybe not on the government, but on individual targets does work, which leads me to I think we mentioned last week was or last time was the Jimmy Kimmel getting taken off the air. And
Mm.
tons of people. I didn't know how much people. I don't know if it's a matter of people loving Jimmy Kimmel, or a matter of people just being pissed that this is like such a clear infringement of First Amendment rights. Um, you know, it was the same case with Mahmoud Khalil last year, and plenty of other cases. But Jimmy Kimmel is a pretty high profile case, and it was pretty overt that the FCC had him taken down. And so tons of people canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions, and Disney was like, "Oh, we made a mistake. We don't want tensions to be high after the Charlie Kirk's shooting." So they put him back on, all because of the pressure that people put on the corporation. Which, like, I don't know, it's hard to find wins, but I think that definitely was a win.
Yeah, that activated the liberals and the wine moms. It got them riled up.
It did.
Like that kind of shows if like that base, I feel like it's pretty slow to react. And it's like, damn, Jimmy Kimmel, like that's your that's your line. That's like that's whatever, I'm glad you're coming around. But that base kind of moving more to the left and being like, oh shit, the shit's getting bad. It's like, okay, damn, there's some hope to fight back.
Yeah, and not even just the wine moms. I think like a lot of conservatives too.
Yeah, no, that's true. They don't want to be censored either. I
No,
hate
I
that
mean like
shit.
even Joseph Robinette Rogan, he was talking out about it,
Yeah.
What the fuck, people?
and yeah, I don't know. I feel like all these things, Dom, you're mentioning like the ICE protest that people were like still going nuts about it, like in support, and I still like maybe it's just me being naive and still like believing that this can't be the case that many people really feel like this is right. But I also just do feel like just it's only because of how this media works that like it seems like it is a large subsect of people when in
Yeah.
reality I really do feel like it's this fringe group of people that are just so upset with their lives and are so incredibly misinformed and disinformed and misled on everything that they believe that they just like no longer under like they're living in an alternate world, and
Mm.
like they're pushed to the front because like buy Fox News or buy any of this to like just make it seem like there are people supporting. I don't think the majority of Trump supporters and definitely the majority of America supports what is currently going on in this country.
No, yeah, definitely not. It is kind of a fringe group, which a lot of these actions that the Trump administration is engaging is like to kind of appease like the most racist, hate-filled, bigoted people.
And
But
the
yeah, no, you're
loudest.
right. Like that is the minority of the population. Even people who have voted for Trump who are conservative, like they don't like what's going on. No one likes masked Gestapo in their neighborhoods, black bagging people. Um, so yeah, no, I mean totally right. Like it is a minority, and I feel like that for the media ecosystem kind of paints it as more of like the popular sentiment. But I mean, a lot of people look at Trump's favorability; it's very low.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other piece that like I feel like recently, this is just today. So last week, Trump sent out this like effectively like a loyalty pact to 9 universities to like try and get them to like agree to all these different demands of his, cutting free speech and making sure that the schools were like uplifting conservative values, making sure that they cut the amount of they restricted the amount of international students, gave information to the federal government about those international students, redefined gender as biological man and biological woman, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But really, like limiting academic freedom, it would probably pretty much cut liberal arts colleges and definitely cut any sort of like protests on campus and free speech. And it was sent to 9 universities of smattering of schools, and it's effectively just a loyalty pact. And so people have been protesting them, sending out these petitions and letters and different things, and in-person protests. And MIT this morning was the first school to say no to it, which is a pretty big news, and hopefully the others will follow. Because in the past, like Harvard, Brown, all these different schools have just like Columbia, definitely, like all of them have just folded so quickly. But I think it's also been because there hasn't been like strategic, coordinated push against them. And that was what happened this past week. Really quick, like rapid response, pushing back against these schools to make sure that they don't comply and actually protect their students. So I mean that's giving me some hope this week.
I'll be right
But
back.
yeah, so I do think like all this shit is going to go down the path that it's currently set on. I don't think just like fascism, but like capitalism is going to be leading to this type of government the longer we let it go, and if there isn't a coordinated pushback. But I think like if we just like throw our arms up and we're like, oh, that's just gonna happen, then yeah, we're guaranteeing 100% chance that that does happen, that we do lose. But there's no guarantee if we do fight that we have a chance. But or there's no guarantee that we'll win if we fight. But at least like we have a chance, which
Mhm.
I think like especially for we're organizing together and fighting back. Like I don't know, it's pretty inspiring seeing what's happened already. And the last thing I'll say is just that like the there this is just showing, and anytime the um the courts fight back and different things, it just shows how weak these guys are. And I think we give them so much power, not just by complying early with their demands before they even demand it, but also we just like think they're so much stronger than they are. And
Yeah.
I really just don't think I think they're incredibly weak people, like as people, but I just don't think they have the power that they pretend that they do.
No, I mean like they are pretty incompetent fascists. Like Trump's a fucking dumbass. Um, like fucking Hegseth, Cash Patel, Pam Bondi, like there's all these people that are Christy Nome, all these people that are making the collective's lives worse. It's like these fuckers are fucking losers. They don't know they don't know shit. I mean, I guess they know how to like abuse power, but they don't I mean, I guess there's some deeper guys, slimy little Stephen Miller in the background. They got some
Slimy
deep
Stephen
plans,
Miller,
some
Russell Vlad.
other technocrats and whatnot. But like the people in the administration, it's like, yeah, like who the fuck are they? They are not like it should be like ain't no way these numbskulls are gonna lead to the demise of this country and are gonna allow fascism to coalesce here.
Right. And like I also think like they don't have the power that they think they have, or that we let them think they have, just in the power of like, the power of the people. Like I
Yeah,
don't
they don't
think
have general support.
I don't think they have general support, and I also think that like even the military, like I don't think a lot of these military people want to be deployed on their own country.
No,
It's
definitely
just
not.
there's no strong opposition and like unified opposition to it that they can
Yeah.
side with right now, and I think that's building. It's just like more attention needs to be like our attention. Of course, the media is not going to put attention on it, but like our attention needs to be directed to that instead of like, oh my God, look at this new thing that they just did. Like, not that we don't have to be watching what they're doing, but I think us like throwing our arms up in the air about like every single thing that RFK says or all these different things, it's like, it doesn't matter. What matters is like how we're opposing this government, I think.
Mhm. You know, in regards to like the military, like yeah, the members of the National Guard definitely they don't want to be federalized and deployed into American cities. I mean, ICE agents on the other hand, you know, they love that shit, but National Guard definitely not.
And then especially like, yeah, National Guard definitely don't want to. And I think, you know, obviously the military, I was talking with someone about the military, like, is there any opportunity to co-opt there? And, you know, they're subject to propaganda 24/7. A lot of them are stationed on bases that are like just separate from society in general. And they're just like 24/7 taking in American exceptionalism.
Hmm.
And I think like that allows them to be like if there really is this threat against American values as Trump will say, then like yeah, maybe there's a chance that they will go against their own citizens. But if we make it large like clear enough that's like you do not answer to Donald Trump. You answer to the Constitution. You swore
Yeah,
an oath to this country and the people of this country. And like right now, there's a wannabe dictator, a close to be dictator who's going against that. And like you can make the choice to not to not
yeah,
go
and
along, you know?
it is like their duty to follow the Constitution and also to not follow unlawful orders. And as we're seeing now, those are kind of coming down with deployment of National Guard into American cities on just baseless claims. Um, and yeah, I mean, obviously, it is definitely tough to kind of break free and go against either just your commander or just the military in general. But circling back to like um, kind of co-opting the military, like this was a couple weeks ago, but like Pete Hegseth addressing the military, getting together the top
Yeah.
leaders, like that. For example, a guy like Hegseth, who's just basically just some dude who's kind of ordering the military around, like he has no
Failed
to the
upwards.
yeah to the people he's talking to, like he's nothing, and the people that he's talking to, like they love the military, but they love the order of it and they kind of respect it, and they're not going to be pushed around by some schmuck.
Both Pete Hegseth and then like Trump, who's just like I don't know how anyone respects him. He's
Yeah,
such a creep and such a loser. Which like I don't know. Remember when during the Kamala campaign, like Tim Walz was like, they're weird.
yeah,
You know, I think we got to go harder than they're weird, but like that's we gotta just like oh Trump bad, Trump bad. It's like Trump's a fucking loser, bro.
yeah.
He's a
No,
fucking
they're fucking
pedophile.
losers.
They're all losers, but like Trump is such a creep, dog. Like he's
Yeah,
such a creep, and you know what resonates right, left, across the world, no matter what language you speak, corruption. People hate corruption. People hate traitors, but they really hate corruption. And dude is the most crooked motherfucker ever. Like
yeah,
the Trump family has gained billions this year from
yeah.
their
Like this whole
Trump
meme
and
coin
other
thing. It's like
deals.
that's
It's
crazy for a sitting
crazy.
president to engage in.
And also just like, bro, you see the Argentina thing?
Yeah, 20 billion to bail out Argentina. It's like,
20
bro, what happened
billion
to
to
America
bail out
first?
Argentina because of like some billionaire that like is friends with Scott Bessent and Trump that like was losing money. I forget the exact details. More Perfect Union put a video about it. Some of these like top line things that are not just day of news, but are like ongoing things, like the amount of corruption in our government, the fall of our democracy, climate crisis, like all these big things. It's like yeah, people know they're going on, but I think like them being constants that people can check in with of like this is going on, this is how the movement's responding to it, like all that stuff. I think it's so important that like I don't know, I think like the corruption trackers, I don't know if you've seen those, but like I think those kind of hit
Yeah,
like tracking
like
how corrupt certain politicians are.
yeah. I mean, this is kind of related, but like private jet trackers, people love those. I know it's like kind of slightly different. But
For sure.
people love to track where the money's going.
I don't know. Like, it's honestly working that like we're not talking about Epstein anymore because there's just so much dumb shit going on all the time.
Yeah, no, the the Charlie Kirk assassination, especially, that kind of really shifted the conversation. And then once the news cycle picked up after that, it was like Epstein was kind of left in the dust. But those
Yeah,
statues, whoever's putting the Epstein and Trump friend statue in front of DC, that goes hard.
they did it again.
Yeah, no, it was back, and like especially like with the government being shut down, it like stayed a little bit longer. I don't know exactly right now if it's still
That's
there,
funny.
but it was there, it was gone, and then it was back again.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Um, I think I mentioned to you the other day that I think like the our solution to Larry Ellison and Peter Thiel and all these billionaires and the state knowing everything about what we're doing, everything that we're buying, everything that we're looking at, is just like let's start surveilling them.
yeah,
Like, what are they doing? Like they're buying fallout shelters.
yeah.
Like these guys are crooked and they're evil. Like they're literal supervillains. There is very little separating them from like actual Lex Luthor and supervillains from comic books.
Except
Like
like none
they,
of them are fucking cool.
no, they're
They're
not
all
cool.
fucking dweebs who had fucking, I don't know, childhood trauma or daddy issues, and make it all our problem now.
You know, there's reason why people are focusing on the immigrants and focusing on all this random shit happening. You know, because the media is not going to talk about these billionaires, but like this is another case of like what should we be, what are these big line item things that aren't one day news but like month long, year long news of like look at how much money these fuckers are amassing
Yeah,
every single year while you lose money. And like it sucks that people don't have, you know, can't understand the difference between million and billion, but like we just got to drill that in. We got to drill that in that
yeah.
it's like how much money they have is actually like it is so absurd.
And it
And
extends even more than just the money, like the control and the data too that they have
right,
on society and the data that they have on us.
right. Um But I think like, and I think a lot of people do it well. But I think whenever we're talking about immigrants or like the problems that America is seeing, even with like this fascist takeover that like a lot of it can be on Trump, like it's all driven from behind of like the billionaires pulling the strings and wanting total control, not just control in our elections or control in our media, but complete control on how our society runs, which they have a lot of, but they want complete control. Um, and yeah, I think just like pointing back to like when you were saying before of like, oh, you know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, my life's getting worse because these immigrants, all these different things. It's just continuing to point it back to why your life is worse, why your life is worse, why
Yeah.
your life is worse, and it's all because of these fuckers who are just like the greed is like is it's like it's it's intergalactic level of greed.
And it's even worse now than like let's say the robber barons of centuries past, because at least back then, maybe not maybe back then at least they were there were these guys who concentrated power and wealth, but were still producing things. Like let's say like
Hey, creating jobs.
the railroads, for example, like that definitely helped. A lot of Americans helped society develop. Like especially now, these people they're amassing this wealth. They're not creating anything new. They're barely even making profit or revenue. They're just kind of making rents, uh, charging people to use their platforms, selling people's data. They're not making anything new, and they're not reinvesting it to even provide any kind of service that could be even used for the public good. It's just going
Right.
back into their own coffers, going back so they can buy yachts, bunkers, another mansion, maybe sports teams. Like they're not even doing anything remotely beneficial for the average person. Which I guess at least even the previous era of like I don't know if they're billionaires then, but just same amount of wealth relative to everyone else did some of that. Like they're literally the worst ever.
Right. Um, no, they're like the not only they're supervillains, like they're the worst people of all time.
Yeah. And they're all lame as fuck too. Like I don't even know how that's possible. They're all fucking so fucking lame.
No, they're such losers.
Fucking
And
dweebs. Tough them in a
and that's why
fucking
they're doing
locker.
it, right? It comes down to like a personal like feeling of insufficiency. Um, because they're just such losers. Um, and but like at the same time, like and I think Elon like started out on this tread. Like I kind of want to like
You
and I
want to have
think
him on?
what?
You want to
Yeah, I
have
want to
him
have him on.
on? Just get
But
into his
like
head.
I want to understand what they're doing, and I think I understand Trump pretty well. And I think I get Elon for the most part. But like, dude started out on this thread. He was already worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
He bought Tesla, and he was going on, you know, magazine after magazine, article after article, and interview of like how he's like the good billionaire and how he's like putting money back into society and solving climate change and all these different things. And like, bro, like just trying to appeal, like trying to understand like what is driving this person. Obviously greed, obviously power, but like is there anything in there, like are they all so okay with being so deeply hated by everyone? Like what, like he was kind of on that thread of like wanting to help people, or at least seeming like he was pretending to help people, that
Mm.
like any one of them could make the choice right now to be like actually making real fundamental change. Um, and like while they never will, I can't separate the fact that they are humans making human choices all the time and they continue to choose to not help their species. Like it's baffling.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess like it's almost as if their existence, like they almost can't help the human species because like their very existence is kind of contradictory to that. Like billionaires shouldn't exist. Like no one should have this amount of wealth or power or control. So like, why would they even help? Like they're kind of just designed to be the villain. But I do think that it's just they almost live like a different life. Like they're not even like they kind of just transcend humanity at a point where for them they're just so hyped up in this money making game and power grab that they don't really think like people anymore.
Yeah.
Like
No,
they're
I mean
just
we're ants to them.
yeah, but like also they exited the human race. They're something else. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
they're kind of our overlords now, but they're not people anymore.
But at the same time they are.
No, yeah, I
Like
know,
in
like functionally and like
Yeah,
in the
like, and they
flesh they
still like
are.
do make choices on the everyday on an everyday basis that like I think we need to vilify them, but at the same time, like at any moment, yes, their existence in society is antithetical to like what the world we're trying to build, right? But
Uh,
like take climate change or AI, two massively existential threats to to like literally our species, right? That
yeah,
like if any of these dudes are smart enough, like fucking Bill Gates, I thought this dude was smart. Like I thought this dude was smart. Like he put on this whole show about how smart he was. It's like, bro, you could help. You could help. Like, yes, you are the villain. Like, as the script is written, you are the villain, and what you've done, the choices you've made up until now. But like, you could, and I think about whether it's about building up enough public pressure or just like making it so clear to them that like, bro, you every choice that you make to not help society, you are going down as like you're the villain of all time.
yeah,
And I don't think anyone want like as much as like, oh, you know, all I care about is power. I don't think anyone wants to be that guy. I just think that that narrative isn't clear enough to the rest of society, and especially not them.
yeah. I think like what kind of goes missing sometimes in discourse about like how bad they are is that you'll see their massive wealth and on one end it's like damn do we even understand what that means but also like we're just kind of served numbers and the majority of Americans aren't going to be rich anyway and aren't but I feel like we understand all right so like some people are rich some people have a lot of shit they could do a lot and I think we get that but not to the degree that we should for these individuals of like how much worse they are making our lives. Like the connection, I don't know if it's purposeful or it's just not made. The connection between our suffering and their bounty is not there. And I think if like that's made, that okay, like my life sucks. I don't own anything. I can't buy anything. I can't work. I have to work for them. I'm basically a serf to their big yachts, their 8 different bunkers, their 14 houses and 30 cars. Like I feel like they're not connected in society, in discourse, in news coverage, where it's just like, oh, this new billionaire is doing this, or even if they do something good, it's like, oh, they're
Right.
donating to that. Like it's not
Right.
like we're not disconnected. I know I just was saying how like they're not humans, but their actions, they're not disconnected. I mean, it's they're the reason why we're in this situation.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, yeah, it's all like I don't know that's why it's so pivotal that we're losing this narrative battle, um, and that like we have a uniparty in this country, but like I don't even think like the narrative on like a well, yeah, I think that like yeah, there too. Like the fact that we don't have any side that is like anti-corruption or anti-corporation
Yeah,
and is like pro working class, like that is so damning to
mm,
us because
definitely.
like no one can see what should we be fighting against if not each other, right?
Yeah,
And like yes, some people are saying that like on the outskirts of, of social media and like but like we need everyone to be talking about that in their fucking communities and like that like bro we've all got the same damn enemy and like they're the same reason why all of these it's not oh the world's crazy oh healthcare oh housing oh climate change oh all these different things it's like bro it's all the same shit it's all
yeah,
coming down to the same reason and like I think it's like so sad that with social media we're losing this battle because of these echo chambers and algorithms. But like, if we could dominate, like if we could get Hassan and how we see things and just like the logical way to see the world of like, bro, let's not let ourselves get fucked on the everyday basis and have our entire species get wiped out.
yeah. And like,
Let's
let's also
actually
fight for our interests.
let's fight for our own
Yeah,
interests. Let's like not just keep getting fucked over and over again. Like we're getting donkey stomped every single day. We're getting choked out and we're not doing anything about it. Like if that could become like into the public consciousness, we and then we get organized off of
mhm,
that. I like we're unstoppable.
yeah, and yeah, as you said, media definitely plays a big part, but also yeah, this duopoly that exists in America where both parties are pro corporation definitely hurts any chance of organizing. Not that doesn't hurt organized, but any chance of like the government effectively regulating these billionaires and just uber rich corporations. Because at the end of the day, even if one is a little more liberal, a little more palatable, a little more normal, I guess, they are still in the same pockets as their right wing counterparts. And it's
Right.
not going to help the average American, and it's not going to help the fight against the ruling class for the working class when any and all elected official is on the side of the ruling class almost every time, a couple exceptions.
Exactly. And I think like that's just like if we're thinking about building up this movement and like what for example Oppor did where like they made it non-negotiable that like you cannot be corrupt like you have to like and I think the same thing like you cannot be bought out by corporations you cannot be corrupt you cannot um you have
Wait, you
to
might want to
actually
say like
stand
what Opera is.
Oh, Oppor is the Serbian resistance movement in the 90s, and they built up this mass movement of mainly. It started out as mainly students across the country building up just like resistance to the current autocrat Milosevic, who is in power, and then they like built it up so much that they like forced an election. He didn't accept the results of the election, and then the country went on strike and forced the hands of this autocratic regime to take on the next ruler. And like, what's that, bro?
Sorry that took so long.
That's chill. We kind of just we started going.
You started going? Okay.
Yeah. But like when it comes down to it, like if we are building this mass movement, not just class conscious, but just like all everyone understands what we are fighting for. Um, and the first step being like people in our government that represent us and don't represent corporations, like that can be huge. And I think like for example, Zoran being like the first, like if he wins next month, which it's looking like he's gonna, like that is a huge W for like someone not bought out by corporations, like standing for the people. And I think if it's built into more of a movement beyond just like this one election, like having these non-negotiables, where like we're not gonna ever allow another Democrat to be having corporations fund their campaigns and have all this quid pro quo bullshit all the fucking time.
Oh yeah, I mean you nailed it on the head there.
Zoran's punching up.
This is also side note to that. Um, like I think this also could be like the Zoran stuff. Like that could be such a huge change, especially with the way I've seen like the current Democrats like deal with it as well. Like, why did it take so long for just like one, two members to like endorse Zoran, who like he was the leading and winning candidate for the Democratic primary in New York City. And like people just couldn't get behind him. And like I just don't get why like the I guess like the Democrats couldn't like that was like your angle. That's your angle to win. Be more like this person who is trying to care about the people and do stuff for the people and not be bought out. It's just like you
Because
couldn't even do
because
that.
they don't care about winning.
Yeah,
They like
it's just who's lying in their pockets.
yeah, and Zoran presents a threat. Like if Zoran wins, Zoran becomes popular. Like this is like a thing that people want. Not only are they under like their seats in power under threat, but like the corporations that are running our government are under threat. Like it will build the grounds for not just not like revolution, I mean revolution, but like just a mass movement that is calling for every single politician to be a real person and not just a puppet for corporations. They know that. Like that it's not a matter of, I mean, some of them will say it's because of oh he's anti-Semitic or this and that, or oh he has bad policy ideas, this and that. All of them are not saying anything because they know what it means for the corporate elite that they bow down to.
And at the end of the day, it's like that's just not what the government is about. And I like it is upsetting that more people like don't agree with that. Um because the government should be about its people, and it is currently run by people who are just like owned by these corporations or these like APAC. APAC owns like so maybe you've mentioned it already. They like they don't just endorse, they like literally own so much of like the Senate and like Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Uh I'm pretty sure APAC funds like 100% of GOP members.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And it's just like, first of all, why is that a thing too? Like, yeah, I don't, yeah, that's a whole other topic, I think, in its own, but it's just like these people who are working for the government, who are working for the people, should not be being paid by these other governments to say, I mean, not governments, like corporations and being lobbied to like vote how a corporation wants. It's like
Right.
that is actively against the people.
No, and like Jordan, I don't know if like you meant this when you were like it sucks that more people don't see that because like I feel like that's the fucking point of government. It's like, dude, everyone agrees with that. Like that was kind of how this started before you got on. It's like that is something that right, left, no matter where you are in the world, like corruption and like actually standing for people is something that like resonates everywhere. It is only the treacherous politicians that are not standing for the American people that are on the other side of that coin. Like everyone else wants their politicians to be like representative of people's interests, of American interests, rather than corporate interests. Like it's just that choice and that dilemma is not made clear enough to the average person that like it might seem like Cuomo's getting this many votes, but like I don't know, if we just make it clear on a mass level how bought out all these politicians are, I really think the tables are going to be flipping like no time.
Yeah, that's actually like I really like the way you frame that. Like I think that's 100% true. It's just like this. Yeah, people. We want people to like see the government the way we are seeing it now, and like just see through these like lies and deception and these walls that are built up. Um, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of on us. Maybe not us directly, but like us as like the people to like help make that like the case.
Yeah, bro. Um, okay, we'll talk next week, my boys.
All right.
Oh, hell
Later.
yeah.
Peace.